You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
Okay, welcome. We'll call the Board of Selectmen's meeting for June 21st, 2023 to order. Item 1, to consider and if appropriate approve the Board of Selectmen minutes of June 7th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Move second. Edits, corrections, omissions. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 2, to consider and if appropriate approve a request from Alex Paluzzi, Director of Parks and Recreation, to waive the informalities in the bid for the purchase of town green landscape and maintenance contracts and award a 3-year contract to Oliarchek Landscaping LLC at the proposed bid prices. Alex?
Yeah, we had a lot of competitive bidding prices this year. We had 11 for this one contract. There were 7 separate contracts that went out, but this one we had 11, and we went to the lowest bids. Actually, Selectman Dunbar asked what was highlighted, but if you looked at the all the red ones that you have there were ones that there was inconsistencies with the bid. They were missing a few items. We went to the original. If you look in the yellow, the number 1 lowest bid was Diamond Landscape at $38.50, followed by Cheapskates at $9,500, and thirdly AC Landscaping at $16,999. But what happened was I had called each of the contractors, and you have them in writing right there, the 3 lowest ones, and received communication from them that they were not able to do the work, which is before you. So SM Lawn Care and Landscaping retracted their bid, as did Diamond Landscapes at $38.50, and also Cheapskates at $9,500, which were the 3 lowest bids that came in. So all those 3 were out. The next one in line was Oliarchek Landscaping LLC for $12,500. They've been with the town for 18 years, and I think it was in the best interest of the town to accept the next lowest bid for Oliarchek Landscaping for $12,500. It's actually this is a 3-year contract. These are for the next 3 years, starting July 1st coming up. So July 1st of 2023 all the way to June 30th of 2026.
All right. I guess just so I can summarize the 3 lowest bidders in terms of dollar value all withdrew once they went through the scope of services. I think this has happened in the past, and pick up that the green actually extends all the way to the tip of the South Main Street split all the way through. Just to clarify too, the only informality is the Oliarchek, who would then have been the next lowest in terms of price. They did not submit references. As you laid out, they have been our contractor for
18
their
years.
Current contractor, and have done work for the town of Branford for 18 years. So that was the one item that was missing from their response, was a list of references, which was a requirement, even though they were a contractor for 18 years. Hopefully you know who they are by now.
I'll make a motion to move it.
Go ahead, Ray. It's all right.
All right, we'll give it to Ray.
Yeah.
We go back and forth. We're good.
Second. All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3, to consider and if appropriate, approve a recommendation from the Board of Fire Commissioners to earmark town-owned property located at 32 Acorn Road as future fire station. Chief?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, so this property was identified to meet our needs for the future. The east side of the town is underserved as far as response times, and for future planning and development, we found this town-owned property that was taken under foreclosure and evidently has received a clean bill of health from the DEP. Some preliminary site drawings, just conceptual, that engineering did would fit a firehouse in an area that was already commercially zoned. So the Board of Fire Commission is just asking the Selectmen to earmark that property for the future.
That means we have
Motion to approve?
Well, basically what we have
Go
to do
ahead.
is, we have to recommend to the RTM, right? It's property the
Yeah,
town owns and usage?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not a project that's identified right now. I think really what the commission is hoping to establish tonight from the action of this board is, as the chief laid out, the town took this property, or received this property a number of years ago through foreclosure. It had some environmental issues. The town went through a process, remediated the environmental issues, and we're awaiting, or did just receive the final, that is, the site is now clean. It does not abut any other town-owned property. The thought, would be, what would be the future use? Is there an identified need or purpose for this, or should the town divest of the property? The chief and the commission, through their analysis, have determined that this would be an appropriate location if the town was to proceed with a new fire station to serve the east end of town, which is something that certainly has been discussed in the past and evaluated. I think the commission and the chief don't want to see a lost opportunity here. So where there's not a plan right now to proceed with the actual project, there was again, a high-level internal, with own staff analysis done of previous use of the property, the size of the property, and a station size. Would that site accommodate it? And I think to take this action would just kind of to establish a record that their potential is future use for the town, so we should not divest of the property.
I'm 100% for it. The chief knows that it's been
Yeah.
needed for over 40 years,
Right.
but I just think to make sure the chief doesn't put a lot of work into it, and certainly the majority leaders here, the RTM's the only group, and so to pass it on to them and let them start the long process that I'm sure they're going to approve, because they have to approve the land, give the chief a lot more backing when he's going to go forward. I mean, one way or the other, I'm going to say yes today,
Yeah.
but ultimately, all we're doing is making a recommendation because only the RTM can make that. And I think they should make that for the chief and that support right off the bat. And that way there's no question. Money comes up, so forth, because it is much needed.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
I would just hate to see somebody later on get an attitude about something and then say no after the chief does all the hard work.
Yeah, well,
That's-
I just want to establish, to set expectations. We're at the beginning stage of this process. So the RTM is under the ordinance in terms of their action on encumbering use of town property, can certainly make that, take that action. But just for the public's benefit, I just want to be clear that there's not a project at this
presently.
point that's been funded, because I know that'll come up, funded nor designed, besides even in a conceptual design.
Do you mind if I just wanted to read, just for the public to understand, a second paragraph from the chairman of the Board of Fire Commissioners, Robert Massey. He says, response times to the east side of town are already unacceptably long. Recent and planned development, coupled with increased call volume and an unreliable response from the district volunteer stations, make it imperative that we begin a process of adding and staffing additional stations. So this is only the beginning, but there's seems to be a dire need up at that part of the town that hopefully, as we go forward, we'll be able to help.
And I will just also add is
Yeah.
that, staffing needs are something that the chief brought up through the budget process, and we will be, I expect Chief to be doing a presentation in the near future to the Board of Finance and RTM.
That's correct.
To start to develop a strategy or implement a strategy to meet the staffing needs of the department. I think you'll be ready in the next month or so with that.
And we hope to have the draft plan approved at the Board of Fire Commissioners this Thursday night, and then we'll get a little bit more guidance on how to proceed from there.
Okay, great. Yes?
Is this the old Asatronics site?
Yes.
This is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, we did computer modeling based on road speeds. The standard of care is 4-minute response from the fire station, and this area, we actually also drove it with stopwatches, and it covers a very good portion of the east end of town. So I'll give you these for the minutes if you don't already have them.
And Chief, yeah, you envision, or the department and the commission envision, probably a 2-bay, similar to
Yeah, similar to the
Company
recent
9.
Company
Yeah,
9.
right, just for
Yep.
the public.
Maybe a little bit on the first floor, just for being able to truly have 2-depth apparatus.
Yep.
Storage is always an issue.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, it's moved, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Item 4, to consider and if appropriate approve the following resolution. Resolved that the town of Branford may enter into with and deliver to the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation any and all documents which it deems to be necessary or appropriate for a grant in the amount of $800,000 for a community connectivity grant program grant for pedestrian connectivity improvement project, and be it further resolved that James B. Cosgrove, first selectman of the town of Branford, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the town of Branford, and to do and perform all acts and things which he deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We move second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 5, reappointments. Parks and Open Space Authority, John Tolbert and Ainsley Hyman. Terms to expire June 30th, 2026.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Move second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 6, appointments. Parks and Open Space Authority, Leslie Barnardini, to fill a vacancy left by Judy Miller. Term to expire June 30th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Move second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I don't believe there's any correspondence, right? Any other business? All right, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Wow.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.